You know when your guest is just jamming to something that you play on the station, you know this one is a jam. It's the sounds of Gaba Canal coming through with George Leslie as well as Russell Zuma. Hilanki Zoyami coming through right here on the Mighty Metro. It's hashtag Wake Up on Metro FM. Good morning. Thank you so much. Mozambique, we love you as well. Welcome to the show. Otherwise, it's time for us to jump into Property Explained, usually with Tim Akinusi. Not in today because this week, on Property Explained, we will be looking at women in property. I love this, and why women are naturally suited to thrive in this assets class, right? We're joined by Mivuyo Balintulo. Now, she has almost 15 years, home loans background in this conversation, lives it, breathes it, and has been instrumental in many successful initiatives over the years. You are absolutely gorgeous, firstly. Thank you so much for dressing the part, especially coming through this early in the morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. And also, big ups to you for being 15 years in this space, the knowledge that you have. It only makes sense for us as ladies to listen to the kind of experience that you have to advise and impart and give to us. But what, in your view, is the biggest hurdle for women to get into the property market? What are we holding back on? What are we afraid of? Or what are we doing right?
Yeah, so I think that's very personal to me because that's something that I struggle with myself for many years. So I'm speaking from personal experience. I'd say the biggest hurdle for women is fear. Fear of this daunting long-term debt commitment. Fear of being stranded. Should we not be able to afford this property anymore? Fear of what will people say if we fail and we have to go back home. So we end up, we keep thinking that renting is better. We continue renting. We think it's better because it doesn't come with the potential disappointment of losing a house. But the reality is, if you rent and you keep renting for 20 years, it's as good as buying a house for someone else.
Bond, yes.
Yeah.
That's true. What would you say needs to be done to get more women involved in property? Yes, from a residential point of view, but also just as a business.
Yeah. Sure. I think a lot can be done. A lot is actually happening. According to the Global She Economy Research report for 2022, women are emerging as the leading decision makers when it comes to consumer spending. And real estate is one of their main focuses. So a lot is actually already happening. And also data shows that first-time home buyers are single females.
Sure.
Wow.
And understandably so, because women, like you said earlier, women are actually more suited to being homeowners, and that's because women are bold, women are courageous, we are careful with money, and we avoid unnecessary debts.
Yeah.
And with the right debts, like property, women are actually inclined to manage their debt obligations and keep to their repayments, because we see property as more than just debt. We see property as an investment.
Sure.
It is a legacy that we will one day leave for our children and our children's children.
And what would you say is an important thing, or two or three, it's up to you, to remember when you're getting into the property space as a woman?
Sure, I think being informed, you must be very informed. It's not something that you can just jump into. It requires a lot of preparation. There's a lot that comes into it. There's a lot of aspects. There's insurance. So I think that for me is key, being informed.
100%. Now, I know that you mentioned that a lot of single women are into the space of property, and big ups to every single woman that is listening who has done and made this big decision. But when you say yourself as a woman, you are into property, what are the personal fears that you went into? Because I'm listening to you now, and some of the words are going over my head because I'm still scared. I'm hearing what you're saying, but like, speak to me in terms of the encouragement to be able to not just think of the investment or the property that's there, but beyond that, get over that fear. Women buy it. Women trust it.
Yeah.
That instinct, right?
Yeah.
Mivuyo, I wanted to ask you something also with regards to women in business and getting into the property game. You mentioned the positives of women getting that they pay their debts, they're more careful with their money. When it comes to the banking side of things and applying for loans and getting money, are the banks more forthcoming with single women knowing that they are, like you said, more careful with money, they do pay their debts more often, more frequently, and are always on time? Had the banks responded positively in this sense?
Absolutely. Recently I had an example of a single mom who was applying for a home loan, and we had to. Just in conversation, she mentioned that she runs a side hustle, and is selling chicken wings. And as you know, you can bring that as a to boost affordability.
I see.
Yes.
Sure.
And a lot of people don't even know that. And us being women, how many women out there actually run side hustles?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
That weave business can get you brick and mortar.
Come on, girl. That
It will bring
fragrance,
you brick and mortar.
yes, fragrance business. It will do the things.
Yes.
So the bank will accept that, even though it might be an informal business.
Yes,
Sure.
we do. As long as
wow.
we see money coming into your bank statement,
Yeah.
and there's an expense associated to it, so we can see you buying wings to
Yes.
sell the wings.
Sure.
Yeah.
That is an income.
Wow.
It's considered an income.
Wow.
That is brilliant. Mivuyo, you're an inspiration, I suppose, to many people in your space, but even just now, there are many people listening in, and a lot of women as well, who probably are taken by just your knowledge and what you know about the space. If anybody wants to follow your journey and learn more about property through you, how do we get in touch with you and how do we do this?
Sure. So I'm not so big on socials.
Because you're too busy making money, that's why.
I'm not so big.
Get that property.
Website maybe?
Through me directly, I am on LinkedIn, so you can find me on LinkedIn, and I'm happy to interact there. Other than that, you can phone through work. We've got very capable people in the Nedbank Contact Center. Yeah.
Beautiful, lovely. Mivuyo, thank you so much for your time. And thank you for being a great inspiration to many people who are listening in right now.
Thank you for having me.
Done deal. Mivuyo Balintulo joins us, another phenomenal woman in property, and we hope you are really, really taken by our conversation. It's available as a podcast, so check it out on metrofm.co.za. It is 5 to 8.